Right, you guys asked for this one. This is my very first attempt at a battle report for you guys. Now I know there are plenty of channels out there who do battle reports, and it's something I've always wanted to play around with, and luckily this right here has given me the opportunity to at least try it out on a smaller scale. This is the new Spearhead way of playing Age of Sigmar, and I am a huge fan of it already. Aren't we, Ollie? Big fan of it in this household? Yeah, even Squirtle. So this is the first video. I want to hear all the feedback you can give me. There are still a couple of things I would like to tweak, but this is what I think I'm going to do if I'm going to be doing battle reports going forward. And if you want me to make a separate video on Spearhead, I'm happy to do that as well. I'm genuinely excited about Spearhead and what it can give people who are getting into the hobby of Warhammer. Without further ado, let's get into the video and into my very first battle report on the channel. Let's go. Ollie, high five. Make sure you subscribe as well. I won the roll-off, which meant that I was the attacker. Now, being the attacker means that I get to set up first. So here I am, setting up all my Skaven ready to battle, and then Janice, being the defender, then set up hers right after me. The twist card for this round was Reclaim Gairan. We each picked an objective, and if we held that objective to the end of the turn, it was an extra victory point. So turn one from me. These are the battle tactics that I drew, so I'm always looking back at these to make sure I can score them. The hero phase, not much happened. I then pushed all my guys up in quite an aggressive manner to try and capture as much as I can. The shooting phase was actually pretty good for me. I was able to take out a few Stormcast with not only my engineer, but the rat ogres as well. Really successful shooting round for me, as you can see, getting rid of quite a few Stormcast. Next, it was my hero, who gets 2d6 shots instead of 1d6, and that worked out very well, hitting with 12, causing quite a bit of damage, but not enough to kill off Janice's hero. Moved into the charge phase. I charged forward with my hero, a bit of hero on hero combat, love it. And this is where Janice activated her enhancement, the Quicksilver Draw, which means that she got to attack me first. I managed to survive it, and when my guy gets damaged, he becomes more deadly with the Cornered Rat ability, so I was getting more attacks, which was fun. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to kill Janice's leader. He has 1 health left over there, but overall, very successful turn for me. I was able to score 6 victory points. I was able to score a few for holding my objectives, getting 2 at the far right one because of the twist, and able to score 2 battle tactics as well. Very successful turn for me, 6 points in total. On to Janice's turn. These are the 3 battle tactics that she drew this turn. Now, her hero has an ability which allows him to pick an objective, and anyone fighting or contesting that objective adds 1 to their hit rolls. She then pushed forward with her prosecutors, her fastest moving units, and then she charged out of the ruins into my rat ogres to bring the fight to them. In the shooting phase, the javelins found their mark and did wound my leader, and then they charged into the leader as well to finish him off. Her first attack was going to be led by her champion, makes total sense, and he was unfortunately able to kill my leader. That is going to secure her one of her battle tactics as well, which is cut off the head. You'll see that later on. So yep, goodbye to my rat lord. Off he goes. He did not survive very long at all. Next, we moved over to the combat over here, where it was my rat ogres hitting in. Now, I rolled a dice at the start there, which basically allows myself to damage myself, but then it boosts my guy's ability. So I took a mortal wound doing that, but that allowed me to kill off all of Janice's men. Next, Jan scored 1 for that, 2 for holding that because of the twist, and then another 2 for her battle tactics, making it a 5-point turn. I won the roll off, so I was going first, and this is the twist. Basically, if we have more models of ours contesting the large terrain piece in our opponent's side, you get an extra victory point. So quite a simple one there. It was the battle tactics I drew. Will of the Horned Rat failed once more. That basically would have given a unit of my choice a little bit more control over an objective, but it failed, unfortunately. This is the movement phase. I was pushing up quite aggressively, trying to take as many of the objectives as possible. Really trying to get the, well, I'm going to avenge my leader at some point. I went over to the Rat Ogres, hitting back at Janice's hero, and I was able to see him off as well. So that was another objective controlled for me. Janice then attacked back with her prosecutors into my clan rats, and she did a decent amount of damage, but not enough to see off the entire pack, which allowed me to attack back. So my attacks back with my rat pack. Yes, try and say that 5 times fast. They did valiantly, but not enough to kill anything. That was the end of my turn. A very successful round for me, giving me 11 points in total. Her Lord Vigilant gets to use his Plan the Attack ability, which means that anyone is adding 1 to their hit rolls while they're on the objective. Her Stormcast second wave came through in the form of Liberators to then charge into the back of the Rat Ogres. So there's a couple of melees going on here. The first one was our Lord Vigilant taking out a couple of rats, and there's a bit of a slap fest over here that ended up in 1 of my Rat Ogres dying and 3 of her Stormcast dying. I then return D3 clan rats to each of my units at the end of each turn. Unfortunately, Janice didn't have any objectives under her control, and she scored 1 victory point. Twist this turn, we drew the Grandfather's Blessing, which honestly we forgot to use, so yeah. And in the movement phase, I just tried to control as much of the board as I possibly could. I believe I had a model on every single objective. I was losing some of my clan rats, not all of them. They are very hard to get rid of entirely, so they were still sticking around in the middle of the board, and I was able to capture all of the objectives, but you can only cap out at 3, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 points that turn. I was pretty happy with that, and I returned more models using my Seething Rat ability. So yeah, the ones she killed came right back again. This was the round that her champion died. He fell to my rats, and the prosecutors hit back, killing a few rats, but overall not doing that much, unfortunately. And I was able to bring back even more rats at the end of that turn. Unfortunately, no points for Janice this round. So this was an eventful turn, finally. My Greyseer did some damage, actually enough damage to see off Janice's prosecutors, leaving me naked and alone on that objective. Overall, a very successful turn. I controlled all of the objectives, and I also got 2 of my battle tactics as well, so a very successful turn for me. So that game was, I was going to say a close one, but it wasn't. I absolutely kicked Janice's ass. But that is the first time that's happened. We've played a couple of games just to practice to get used to this. And every single game we've played have been literally down to the wire. Some literal key plays that really shifted the direction in one army's favor. Now I've got a couple questions for you. I want to know if there are any Spearhead armies you would like to see me playing with. If there's any feedback, as I said at the start, please let me know. I want to make these as entertaining and as consumable as possible. I'm not going to be here doing 2-hour, 3-hour battle reports. That's just not my thing. I want to make these short, sharp, and to the point, and try my best to teach you as much as I can. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. If you could leave a like, if we can get this video to 500 likes, we've been crushing that so far. I'd massively appreciate it. And with that being said, I'm going going to have to give you 2 chef's kiss because I won. And that's always good. I'm going to be out. I am out. That's the one. I am out. Peace out. Bye. Just been reminded here quickly, the winner to the Into the AM £50 voucher is going to be announced right here. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate all the support. Okay, now I'm out.